the e-commerce. There's really a lot. They have a great package for the viewer out there. Just getting to hear your story. How did you start?
How did I start? By profession, I'm a computer engineer. And that's really where my passion lies. I believe that I'm a fixer. I love fixing things. So I was either going to be a doctor and fix people, or an engineer and fix machines that people will use. So that's how I ended up in this field. Along the way, I realized that, first of all, my education was scholarship-based. So I got a scholarship that was supporting women in STEM. And I believe it's the opportunity that really opened a lot for me, because it took the financial burden off my parents and allowed me to focus on my studies. And by getting this scholarship, I realized it could have been me, it could have been some other girl. So during the application, when they asked me, what are you going to do after the scholarship? And I was like, I'm going to help the girl child. At this point, I was 18. I had no idea how. And I actually told them, I have no idea how, but I'm going to do something after I graduate that is going to help the girl child. Along the way, I realized that not all of us have equal opportunities, like education, being in the urban centers, but we all have one thing: we are all innovative. Women are naturally creative and innovative. How else are we going to use our creativity and innovation? Through business. And that's when I realized I can use my profession as a computer engineer to support women in business. Because IT provides women an opportunity to be out there, to be confident, to get knowledge without leaving their workplace, without leaving their homes. You know, our issue of mobility, lack of money, can be solved by using IT skills. And so I feel like, as a computer engineer, that's my contribution to women in business.
Out there, so that is how far we can go when it comes to ICT. Just getting to know more about Rita. Well, Rita is a social worker, like earlier on mentioned, and she deals with women and youths to lead economically empowered lives and for them to thrive. And she is the founder and executive director of Amplified Voices Uganda, a CBO whose work is aimed at advocating for a juvenile-friendly justice system in Uganda. How did you get there?
Well, the journey wasn't coming up with Amplified Voices Uganda, came up, and I registered it, and yeah, we are doing good. We are doing good. Yeah.
Tell us about the stories that you hear from the youth, the women out there when it comes to this particular field. Okay.
Mainly we find that I will look at Kiriandongo, to be precise. Most women are not economically empowered, they're not active. And you find that parenting is left in the hands of the grandmothers, grandfathers, the aunties and uncles, and women step out, go to different areas to look for a way of surviving. And you find that children are left in the hands of people that are not empowered to take care of them, which makes them leave home, go to the streets, engage in unrealistic and very risky behaviors, which actually put them in conflict with the law. And we find that most of these children are not helped at all, and they end up continuously going back and forth into the same activities. Even after being released, they have nowhere to go. They end up falling back into the same activities. So it becomes a recurring thing. You find a child in detention year after year, year after year. So when I saw that, I had
business in our region, Uganda. Can you share briefly some of those particular stories?
Yeah. I've been fortunate that my experience is perspective. Maybe I'll start with the employee perspective. In line with this year's theme, it's such a pity when you're a young woman getting into a workplace and there's no tools in place to mentor you, to support you. Because when you talk about a safe and healthy workplace, it's not just like, is the air conditioning working? Can we go up the stairs? Is there an option of a lift in case I am lame? No, but there's also mental support. It also contributes to a healthy working environment. So I feel like workplaces should make conscious efforts to support these young girls as they are transitioning into adulthood, responsibilities, you know, workplace behavior, so they're not taken advantage of. Whether it's sexually or through to like maybe giving the girls who are entering the workplace. How are we making the environment healthy for them? Do they have maternity leave? Are they supported when they come back? So they don't feel like, oh, while I was away for the 3 months, which is your right, I missed out on so much. Entrepreneurs, and that is really what drives our passion. And these entrepreneurs, we believe, are job creators of the future. They have employees. A lot of our women are employing majority women because it's our resources. Because a lot of times we ignore workplace safety under the guise of no one is going to come and check. But there should be checks and balances to make sure that even SMEs provide safe working environments. You know, women dealing with heat, for example, in a restaurant, back in the back kitchen, are these girls at the back cooking safe? Is there a fire extinguisher in case a fire breaks out? Simple things like that. You know, in case they're out there working on the farms and they're working with equipment, combined harvesters and all that, are their hands and feet protected with gumboots and gloves? So things like that are things we need to watch out in line with this year's theme of a safe workplace, safe and healthy. Not only providing safety as you go in so that you get out alive, but also mentally. Your workplace should be stimulating. It should be a healthy and happy environment because you spend 8 hours with these people. So it needs to be fulfilling so that it doesn't pour over into your personal life and stress you out and thus stress your family out. Because women, we know us, when we have a chance to work, almost 80% of our salary goes to supporting our families and our communities. So we should be supported in the workplaces.
Well, for the viewers watching, wouldn't you let peace go on and on, sharing those special words that are coming through? Just getting to you, Rita, with the experience you've had and the different organizations you've also worked with, what are some of those hindrances or obstacles that women air out?
The first one I'll look at is most women have challenges of identifying who they are, getting to know who they are. And that is where we need to come up as women leaders to be able to mentor these women to get to realize themselves. Before they get to know who they are, they cannot really utilize their potentials. So it all starts from who are you. So when these women realize themselves, they realize their potentials, they are very well positioned to address challenges.
Where money comes in, there's